Action. This is the Alberta Clipper, Matt Chevron, and you're watching the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. How do you like that?
No, this is the Alberta Clipper, Matt Chevron, and you're watching the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, that's the real guy right there. Yeah.
This is the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling walls the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast, episode 18. Maritime Warrior here, joined as always by the big boss, the Jolly Green Giant himself, Corey Robichaud.
What's going on, guys?
Not much, you.
Dreams are being lived over here, buddy. So it's a nice day today.
It is very nice. Also joined by this magic man that I know, Jason Casey.
G'day. How's it going?
Very good. And for the second week in a row, no Mark the Mark. But we have an upgrade.
That's right.
T-Force herself, Tracy Butler. How's it going?
What's up, cheese bags?
There you go, cheese bags.
Tracy, known from her Zamboni show on the BSHL
A
podcast.
review, yes.
So she will be joining us for this episode. She was at the IHW show, so I am sure she will have a lot to say about that. And I think we will all have a lot to say about that. But let's start off with Lutte Prestige. First match on the card saw Matt Strong beat the Ultimate Male Zane Valentine. Not a fan of Zane losing, but it's the way it is.
Yeah, I think it would have been a good match. Two pretty big, strong boys. So I think
it's the only thing.
No,
I saw
no
from
pun
that
intended.
Show. It's the only thing I saw from that show. It's not the entire match, but there's a portion of the match on Facebook.
Oh, cool. I never noticed.
I shared it with you guys, but it gets lost in the shuffle.
Oh,
with
yes.
How often we're on that group chat. So, Nick Strong beat Shane Butterlove. Nick Strong, clearly being pushed for something far greater than a secondary in a tag team title. I think he might be heading towards that heavyweight title.
I agree.
Anything else?
I agree again.
Agree again. Larry Horowitz beat Kerry Killam by DQ. Or it's a double DQ. No, he beat him by DQ.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Horowitz wins by DQ.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but something to do with the
versus champion match.
Referees or something. I didn't get the chance to watch the whole thing or see the whole match, but sure we'll find out what's going on there as soon as they release all the footage. So.
Of course. Zandra Lee beat Stormy Hale, so Stormy Hale continuing her path to improving herself, and so far so good.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I mean, Zandra Lee's got a lot of experience, so it's good for her to be able to face multiple female opponents instead of the same people all the time.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think this would have been a good match.
Rugged Rick Owens beat Patrick O'Neal. Another, for Patrick O'Neal, you're facing a veteran of this maritime wrestling scene, so it's only a plus right there.
Yeah, and same thing as with Stormy, right? It's
absolutely
newcomer facing a veteran. You're learning. You're getting your feet wet with different opponents, different styles. So Patrick O'Neal's been wrestling a lot with Oscar Ironside against Crude Oil. So getting a chance to wrestle against Rick is a different style as well. So it's good for him.
Absolutely. The main event that night for the Lutte Prestige Championship champion, Horsepower Hunter Sampson. He beat the Alberta Clipper Matt Chevron. Almost said Matt Strong there, but it's Matt Chevron. This must have been a banger of a match. Question for all three of you. Is the Le Prestige title a quote-unquote world title in the Maritimes?
No.
No?
I think it's a territory title.
I struggle with any belts that aren't toured at all.
Okay.
That's where I feel. I feel to be respected as like a maritime title. I don't think world titles. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, for me,
Well, you know what
if
I
you want to
mean.
be
The top prize. You know, I
No.
use the word world title and secondary title to differentiate the top title against the secondary title.
in the MBWA, I feel like the top dog is your NWA champion or your CCW champion. And then anything that's leading, any top title in any promotion that isn't CCW, to me is a secondary. And a secondary title in any promotion that isn't CCW becomes like a third tier title. It's like your European title. I think
you're talking about promotions that are affiliated with CCW.
100%. I feel like there's got to be a hierarchy in that chain for me. And for me, the top dog is whoever has the MBWA title or whoever has the CCW title.
I agree. Yeah, it's. I find the other titles are definitely stepping stones.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with them.
No, absolutely not. I think it's the prestige title would be your third tier.
Yeah.
You win that. Next stepping stones, your River Valley. Next stepping stones, your heavyweight.
Yeah. I think it's who you put in the future.
Yeah.
Follow-up question. Is Lutte Prestige, should that be considered like an NXT for CCW? Like should Patrick O'Neill and Oscar Ironside have debuted on shows like that instead of being pushed right into the main CCW shows?
I think that's how it should be possibly used sometime in the future, maybe. Like guys develop in those CCWs become a mammoth. Like, let's just be honest here. They're packing that place. Monthly shows, they're just killing it. So anything other than those CCW shows to me should be like you're building guys up. And you have some main events and you have some good guys in there as well.
Yeah. Using Lutte Prestige as like an NXT would be great if Lutte Prestige was closer to the Fredericton area.
Yeah.
Where they could have shows more often instead of having, you know what I mean, only once every couple months or whatever. It's hard to debut somebody and then if they're ready, have to wait 2-3 months to hold off before you debut them. I think it's, but if you use the NBWA as your stepping stone, I think that would be better. Because if you showcase them or debut them at, say, Mayhem and Minto, or some of those sideshows that they're doing, would be more like the NXT version of the CCW title.
Yeah, I agree. Hunter Sampson versus Matt Chevron here. I think we mentioned that last week, that this is probably a match for the future. I think Chevron could be one of those guys holding the Lutte Prestige title. And, Matt Chevron. I worked all day, folks. Give me a break. Matt Chevron, I think is one of those guys that you build him up a little bit with secondary titles. He could be MBWA heavyweight champion sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I give him a year and a half before he's holding that title, 2 at most.
Hunter Sampson as well. Like, he's no slouch. That's one of the guys that he started in CCW. Like, he's an OG there. So
yeah, I think it's almost going to be a track where Hunter now has the prestige, might hold on to it for 6 months. Then he'll drop the prestige to possibly Chevron, and then he'll be going after that River Valley title.
I agree.
While we're talking about the MBWA and CCW, get over the CCW YouTube channel. Give that a sub. They're at 921 subscribers.
Let's get them up to 1,000.
We all know 1,000 is that elusive number that lets you become monetized. And it's not like they're going to get rich and stop booking shows here. But there's some really good stuff on there, and they deserve to make some money off of it. So go sub to that. They need 79 more subs. Tracy, I see you pulling out your phone right now. You're subbing as we speak.
Absolutely, because I'm sitting here and I'm quiet and I'm like, man, I legitimately could be Mark because I really only came into the scene 3 years ago, and it's
At the Capitol show.
yeah, and it's been primarily North Pro, despite the fact that I literally lived around the corner from the curling club in Fredericton. So there were events that I could have gone to for CCW. So yeah, I need to get on there and start watching and being up to date when I have to fill in for Mark.
I went to more CCW shows when you lived in Fredericton than you did.
100%.
I think you've all been to a CCW show. I still have not.
Tracy is not.
I gotta pop. Jason's not?
Tracy is not.
Me, Tracy. Are we gonna pop our cherries together? Is that weird? You're like my brother.
I'm fine with that.
I am
But
American, so I guess it makes
You
sense.
are American.
Depends on how
was gonna-
Southern American you are, I guess.
yeah. Maine, it's not that
She's
far.
pretty much Canadian.
It's true.
So enough about popping cherries. Let's move on to the next show. Superstars of Wrestling. They crowned their new champions. We'll get to that in the main event, but opening match saw Mark Thomas beat Cody Uno Ocho. Don't know why I wrote down Ono Ocho. It's Uno Ocho. Cody's back in the Maritimes. Great to see that.
Yeah, he comes home in the summertime when all the snow goes away. He doesn't like the cold, so the minute the summer's done, he's gone. Usually heads to Florida first, finds his way to Mexico. This past winter, he was in Thailand and Korea. I love seeing.
I was gonna say he's the youngest Canadian snowbird, eh?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't even think he's 30 yet. But yeah, I love seeing him wrestle all over the world as a Maritimer because he's always saying he's Maritime's most wanted, which is true because he's
Kind of a shoot, huh?
yeah, he's literally spread his wings everywhere. So I love it. So yeah, he's home. He also owns Wrestling in Windsor. So he's going to be hosting some shows. Actually, there's one coming up we'll talk about later. But yeah, I love seeing Cody wrestle, and I'm glad to have him home.
It's funny how he is doing what the old Maritime territory system was. Like guys like Leo Burke and the Beast, Freddie Sweeten, Cuban Assassin. You wrestle the Maritimes in the summer and you go away for the winters.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a hell of a trip to do, but you gotta love it in the Maritimes in the summer, So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by the end of this year, I think he'll probably have 500 or 600 matches under his belt.
that is insane.
Yeah.
Next match, Karma Rain beat Sierra Stone. Women are being featured here, so
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, for sure. And it's nice for Karma Rain to get the win here. She's been on a losing streak lately in a few different promotions, so it's nice to see her get the win here. It'll be fun to see where this goes. I don't know if this is going to become a new feud or what's going to happen, but yeah, we'll see what happens, and I'm happy that Karma Rain got the win.
Rain has really improved, like her character, her in-ring work, and hopefully, Sierra Stone's still very new at this.
Oh yes, absolutely.
There's some growing pains there, but with Karma, Ronnie Payne,
what hindered Sierra's growth is she broke her arm, so she was out of the ring for a while. So that kind of like put a halt to everything. So she's pretty much freshly back. I think this is only her second match back since having a broken arm. So
I remember seeing her as a security guard at some of the IHW shows.
The Miramachi shows.
In Miramachi, yeah. So she kept around. So that's good that she kept around, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next matchup, Rudy Lockhart beat Dries Durning.
Wow.
And I heard that this
what a
was
match.
I heard this was a 5-star classic.
I seen a bunch of clips on Facebook. Wow. We all know what Rudy does. He's fantastic, young guy, 22, 23 years old, moves like lightning. Dries is a splitting image of his dad. He is all over the place. He was off the ropes, diving through the ropes, doing crazy flips in the ring.
Fearless kid.
Yeah. Like father, like son.
Yeah.
I think he's like 15 or 16 years old. He is going to be unbelievable. Another year under his belt. My God, what a kid. This is going to be fantastic to watch.
He's learning from some of the best in the Maritimes. His dad, Dick Durning, Wesley
100%.
Pipes, Fantana, Franco Vargas there, Mark Thomas, Cody Uno Ocho.
Yeah,
Cody
100%.
decides that he likes you, brings you to Mexico and all these places,
You got to be 18 first, but soon enough.
Soon enough.
Yeah.
Next matchup was the Hollywood Heathens beating Sabotage. There's a clip that will be going up on the Facebook page, not Facebook, on YouTube, in the short section of Sabotage crotching the Hollywood Heathens on an escalator. And then the escalator's going up, and Sabotage is going up with them, and they're posing. That's just hilarious.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
I look forward to seeing that clip. Roland sent you that, I assume, Corey?
Yes, Roland did send me that.
Cool, man. I love to see that. Yeah, no, we've seen this match. We've seen these guys face off in the past. Great tag teams with a lot of chemistry.
A lot of chemistry, a lot of storytelling as well. I love how they can be serious at times as well as be funny. So, like, they can flip the switch whenever they want. It's fantastic. I love it.
Agreed.
It sounds like my worst nightmare. Corey, Big Boss can tell you I have an irrational fear of escalators. So yeah.
I ride up escalators behind her, and I go, "Oh, it's coming! You're gonna lose your foot there.
I'm gonna be sucked in there."
You're gonna come out
not
so small."
You doing something like that? I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Shocked.
Don't worry, I get him back.
I'm sure you do.
The main event on this night, a 4-way ladder match for the Superstars of Wrestling Championship and the AIWF Canadian Heavyweight Championship. Wesley Pipes beats Franco Varga, Dick Durning, and Fantana with the help of the Hollywood Heathens. So they turned on Wesley Pipes. What is with this double swerve?
No, they turned on Varga and they helped Pipes win.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, the match itself, I've seen clips.
Same.
Wow, what a match. Pipes going through a ladder, his legs all twisted in the
He
ladder.
didn't really go through the ladder.
Well,
He sort of bounced right off it.
Ouched and flipped. Yeah, it was crazy. Dick going through 2 tables from the top of the ladder outside the ring.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd be shocked by it, but it's Dick Durning. He's like the king of hardcore here in the Maritime. So I'm not surprised, but kind of am surprised because he's just back from injury, been off for quite a while. But yeah, he doesn't look like he's been off for a while because he's wrestling fantastic again. So
Yeah, ring rust was not something that bothered him.
Nope.
Pipes being the first champion kind of felt like it would have been too obvious. I had Varga winning it.
Yep, me too.
What makes me laugh here is the 2 belts that he held were the Superstars of Wrestling title, beautiful belt, and the Atlantic Pro title. So I have a theory on this. So they put up a picture of Wesley Pipes holding the AIWF Canadian Heavyweight title, and he's wearing pink.
Too many flags.
trunks.
Too many flags on that belt, I just want to say.
Yeah, you and your flags. He won the match wearing yellow trunks. I don't think the belt was physically there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But either way, he's the champion. I'm sure that the next time he goes to the U.S., wherever AIWF is headquartered. I believe it's in either North or South Carolina, but I could be wrong. But AIWF just released a list of their top 10 champions, as well as their current world heavyweight champion. Pipes is on the list. There's another Montrealer. I can't remember his name now, but he's also on the list. He has the North American title. So yeah, it's cool to see a worldwide, literally a federation of wrestling. I think AIWF has 52 different countries that are represented in their federation. Wesley Pipes is holding the Canadian title. I think that's pretty fantastic.
They're from Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere in North. I knew it was a Carolina. I couldn't remember if it was North or South. But
I like that gimmick though. I like the gimmick of sending championship belts everywhere. I think Jason, you told me they like send some to Africa and
they've
all
got
over the place.
Yeah, there's 52 countries. Africa, I think India's got a title. Mexico's got a title. Actually, the guy that's holding the Mexican championship right now is Alberto Del Rio's brother.
Which one?
Good question. I don't know. I can't remember now, but
is it
the Hijo
Caras Jr.?
Dos Caras, yeah, possibly Junior. I can't remember. But it's cool. I love the fact that we have somebody right here from the Maritimes that is representing it on the world circuit. So it's great.
And Pipes just puts prestige on the belt.
I mean,
got some WWE tryouts, but is a 20-year veteran. Looks almost unrecognizable to when he started.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When he started, he's got hair, no facial hair. He's a little pudgy. Now he looks like he's sculpted out of granite.
That's why he's the Muscle Beast
from Muscle Beach.
Exactly, it just makes sense. Veteran guy. I mean, let's be real. All four guys in this ring were veterans.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it would have been, other than the clips we saw, I'm sure it was a fantastic match. I can't wait to see the full match at some point.
It should be pretty soon. They usually don't take too much time to put it on YouTube.
Yeah, and when it does, we'll definitely share it on our Facebook group for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just happy to see him get props. I want to see what he does with that AIWF title. I think it's going to bring some big opportunities for him. So
little known, just me being a belt mark.
No.
The design of the belt, like the shape of it, is shaped like the old Portland tag team titles. It's also shaped like the very last Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title. And the Portland tag titles would become the first ever AAA tag team titles in Mexico for AAA. So, just a fun fact there for belts. Special shout out here to Roland Leblanc, Manuel M. Leblanc, and Julie Viano, who were at the show. Manuel sent me all the results as they were happening. Didn't have to do that. Did that. Great people. Just absolute great people. Love these three. Roland, his clips, you're going to be seeing some of them on YouTube. Gave me permission, including that sabotage gift, I guess you could say. So big thank you to them. Anybody at shows, anybody, you want to text us the results, we'll gladly take them. You want to take videos so we can make shorts on YouTube about them, we'll take them. So
100%.
You do that, you get a shout out. So big thank you to them.
We should have a special sound that we make when somebody sends us a video and we use it. I'll be the one that comes up with the sound. Tune in for that in a couple weeks.
Perfect.
Joy.
You sounded so excited there, Corey.
Come on, yeah, man. I'm great at sound.
You never know. It'll be him farting in a mic or something.
Oh, something along those lines. I'll work on it.
Jesus
I might get
Christ.
Tracy to do her sumo song.
Listen, I do a great sumo entrance.
She does. Sumo's coming back in July, by the way, in a few, maybe a week or two.
How exciting.
Well, for me, Corey used to love sumo. Now he's like, eh.
I work. I'm busy, man. I don't know what to tell you. They happen to have these. They have these sumo shows when Corey's off work. He schedules it that way.
May I am working. I still find a way. So next up, North Pro. Jason, the Magic Man, was at this show.
I was.
Uncharted Waters. VIP started with the Hollywood Heathens beating Scorched Earth.
Yep, two really big men against two really small men. It was a good match. It was a good storytell, good comedy match. Olafur Hansen and Oni Bjornsson are two monsters. And I mean, a lot of comedy aspects. I mean, Ethan Knight is like one of the funniest guys out there. But it was a good match. A lot of good action. A lot of good wrestling. It was.
Mark would have been here, been like, "Oh, you mean Aaron?"
Yeah, Evan. But yeah, it was a good match. Mark. A good way to start the show.
This surprised me. VIP match for the NSPW Heavyweight Championship. Michel Pion beat Chip Chambers. That's a main event anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was shocking. I knew they were going to wrestle each other. I just figured it was going to be during the regular show. So when they announced it was part of the VIP, they literally said, you never know who's going to be on VIP, so make sure in the future buy your VIP tickets because you never know what's going to happen. Great match.
It was correct. It was for the NSPW championship.
It was for the NSPW Heavyweight Championship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this match. This Michel Pion, have yet to see him live. I've seen plenty of Michel Pion. I knew about Michel Pion a long time before you guys did because I followed the Quebec scene for a long time. And this guy is just he uses a Hulk Hogan leg drop as a finish in Quebec, and got it over. It takes talent to do that.
Yeah, he's good. He's got good. I mean, obviously the heel in this situation because he was wrestling Chip. We all know what Chip is like. I call him the Energizer Bunny. He's all over the place. He doesn't stop. Trying to get film or a picture of him coming out for his entrance is impossible because he moves too quick. But it was a fantastic match. Michel Plante is, to me, more of a powerhouse wrestler. So having him up against Chip was really good. Some really nice spots. It was a very clean match. It was nice. It was like a gentleman's match because half the crowd at first, a little bit were chanting Michel, then a little were chanting Chip, and then halfway through the match, half was chanting for Plante, the other half were chanting for Chip. So it was like a back and forth. It was really good. At the end of the match, they shook hands and hugged it out, and they said that they would do this dance again at another point. So yeah, it was definitely a main event title match in the VIP spot.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
I guess it was the main event of VIP and the opening match of the main show.
Speaking of main events.
Speaking of main events, for the North Pro Heavyweight Championship, so I'm going to read out the results and I'll continue.
Unified North Pro.
The Unified. So, first off, Alex Silva beats Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Emily Parker comes out, restarts the match. Giant Orion wins, retains his title. A few questions here.
Yep.
One, did Silva come out with the NSPW Maritime title?
Yes, he did.
He did, so the belt still exists in North Pro. Because when I saw the NSPW Heavyweight title, I thought, okay, so Silva is currently the champion, hasn't defended it all year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in Europe for a long time. So, but he came out with the title on. He got in the ring. They literally stood nose to nose, holding the titles up. both in each hand. And they had a few choice words. Unfortunately, I didn't catch what they said, but yeah, so it was a title shot only for the North Pro title. Match was fantastic. We've all seen it, well, other than Trace. Well, actually, Trace, you probably seen it as well because you were on the stream at IPW. This match was better. A few of the same spots, just done way more clean. But they fought. There was parts of this match that reminded me more of an MMA match than an actual wrestling match.
You're talking about two guys that trained in MMA, though.
I was going to say, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
And yeah, it was good. Emily ended up getting knocked down. So then
She got up again.
Well,
you're never gonna keep her down.
Yeah, knocked down.
That's right.
I'm here all day, boys. Let's play.
So then they started fighting it out, and Silva put Orion in a submission hold. And then the secondary ref, Alex, comes running out, and Orion taps out. So Silva wins the title. But then Emily comes around and then says that she didn't see it. She doesn't believe Alex. And she's a senior ref.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, so she said she's a senior ref and she's making the call that the match gets to start over. Match starts over and it goes even more intense than the previous match. And then Orion hits Silva with a power bomb, then a choke slam, and gets the 1-2-3 count. But yeah, this could have been the main event on any card anywhere else in Canada, and the whole crowd would have popped. It was fantastic.
Would you say match of the night in North Pro?
Match of the night in North Pro, probably match of the night for North Pro in the last, probably 2025, honestly.
Yeah. Another belt question. Did Orion come out with both belts or just the North Pro belt?
Just the North Pro belt. It is now unified. The downtown belt is no longer a thing.
And I'm okay with that if they got the NSPW Maritime title. The fact that you told me that came back really made me happy. So,
yeah, it was good. It's like I say, it was a fantastic match.
There were rumors that Orion and Chantel were hopping on a plane and going to Ontario.
Well, they wrestled Saturday night for NCG.
Okay.
In Leamington, Ontario. So, that match and then the following match right after was Chantal's match. So,
which I don't have written down. Don't know why.
Okay, so the next match was Chantal won against the Super Something. So it was an intergender match. Guy come out under a mask. It was black pants, lucha mask, and it had like fins, looked like a shark. Everybody was calling him Shark Boy. Anyway, so it went around. It was a good match. I mean, it was a good intergender match. Chantal ended up winning. She did take some big spots. But I figure her and Orion, it was probably flying out soon after that. That's why they needed to fight so early in the night. But it was a good match, a good intergender match. I love watching Chantal wrestle. She's quick, she's fast, she's fun to watch.
She gets it. She gets wrestling.
Oh yeah,
she's always
100%.
interacting with the crowd. She doesn't just stand there. Like, if a wrestler like stops and they don't know what to do, it's elbow quick and come on. She'll like look at the crowd and she'll like really like try and get the crowd fired up to try and do something by some time.
Yeah, I mean the guy under the mask, vet in professional wrestling. I mean, it was Michel Piant under the mask. You could tell, but he turned the heel knob up to 11. Arguing with the crowd, like getting through the ropes, grabbing a hold of the ref by the throat, like really like turning it up as a heel. It was good. It was a good match.
Can't wait to see him live.
Yeah, he's such a great wrestler. So it was a good match. Unfortunately, just a side note here. I'm not sure if anybody's seen the pictures and stuff, but Chantal got her nose broken on Saturday night at NCG. Something went haywire, broke her nose. She had posted pictures of her sitting at the hospital, and then yesterday, all bandaged up. Her two eyes are already starting to turn black and blue, so she will be sidelined for a little bit, and I want to wish her a speedy recovery.
From the entire podcast, speedy recovery to Chantal. And next match on the card saw Rudy Lockhart beat Lincoln Steen. Is this the starting from the bottom and working your way back up?
Yeah, old school versus new school. It was a good match. A lot of comedy in it. Steen here was playing the heel, but was still getting a few like pops from the crowd. I mean, Steen being Steen, you know what I mean? He's
easy to like.
100%.
Even as
such a good guy.
Yeah. But, yeah, and I mean, Rudy has found a way to, not really as a comedy character or a comedy gimmick, just a way to make people smile just by his movements. Like, he'll stand there and he'll pose with his hands on his hip and just do like a pose or whatever. And just
he's the Bryan Danielson of the Maritimes, in my opinion, the ultimate underdog.
Yeah.
You know, people love an underdog story.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever seen the movie Rudy, you know, that's probably where he got his name.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a good match. I mean, it was it a main event match? No. But was it a good storytelling match? Yes. Like you say, the underdog match.
Yeah. Sabotage beat AWOL. We've seen this match before, and the more they do the match, the more it's going to get better. They're going to work their spots and all that.
Yeah.
How was this match?
Brutal for AWOL. Brutal for Devarro. Let's just say that. He was in there taking punishment for a long, long time. They did turn the tables a little bit. Connors took a little bit of damage, but for the most part, Devarro was put through the ringer and back. Miller did take a few shots. Nothing crazy. After the match was done, no, Sabotage made them stay in the ring and pretty much gave them a lecture, telling them they're no longer Sabotage 2.0. They're AWOL. They better find their own way, stop using their moves type thing. Better start making their own way or else. So I'm not sure what the or else part's going to be, but I wouldn't want to find out. But yeah, it was a good match.
I think Brian Devarro is going to be one of the best talkers in the Maritimes sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I enjoy his promos so much. Like, especially in United. Him cursing up a storm is hilarious.
Yeah, and he's actually added a new move to his move list, and I'm not disappointed. He's now doing a frog splash.
Really? Off the top?
And off the top. And let me tell you, it is beautiful. Friday night was only the second time he performed it. Looks like he's been doing it for years.
Interesting. I love that.
I really, really liked it. I actually told him after the show that I really enjoyed seeing it. So kudos
Does he
to
RVD it, like, pulls in and then
out? Yeah,
really?
Yeah. It's really, really good. It's for somebody that I remember when he first started wrestling was too scared to even go near the top rope to now doing a frog splash. I love the development. I love seeing it. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, we'll definitely see it again, I'm sure, because now he's starting to gain confidence with it. So I like the fact that AWOL is starting to expand their move list a little bit, just because they're still new, and it's hard as a tag team. You know what I mean? You have to pick and choose and find moves that work together, and then stuff that works separately. So now that they're getting the flow, they're getting the experience, they're getting the rhythm. Now they're starting to expand on their own. So yeah, I like it. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And I mean, Sabotage is
Sabotage is sabotage, but AWOL needs to bring back the spike pile driver.
Yeah. I mean, I say sabotage is sabotage, but sabotage is by far, personally, best tag team in Canada.
I'd argue the world. I love Sabotage, New Hooks, and Connor.
Yeah.
Connor's in New Hook. I just pluralized one name there. I think they're just the best, and I've been saying this for a while. North Pro needs tag titles. Sabotage needs to be the first champions.
100%.
And not just win the belts and lose them immediately. Put prestige on it. Be champion for a year or two. Then drop it to a team like AWOL or the Hollywood Heathens or Mutiny.
Or Scorched Earth.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I want to see North Pro. I feel like there are growing pains in 2025 for North Pro.
Yeah.
And once they get past those growing pains, because you're starting anew. The Burke era ended in 2024. And now you're starting anew.
Starting anew, and they were handed a burning torch right from the day one because... Literally, you know what I mean? They go to start having shows, and their venue burns. And then they can't have shows. They got to find a new venue. They had it all worked out that none of their dates were going to match up with anything IHW was doing, but now they got a new venue, so they have no choice but to pick what's available, because the Holy Whale obviously has everything pre-booked well in advance. Then when North Pro well in advance, then North Pro needed it, right? So I think 2026 right now, like you say, it's the growing pains. 2026 is going to be North Pro's year. I can feel it. So.
I hope so. Not saying that they're doing anything bad right now. They're
no,
great
God,
show.
no.
I can't say I haven't been to a North Pro show, and it's killing me. Main event tonight, Dawson James beats Dick Durning after the Hollywood Heathens interfere. So, Hollywood Cole wrestles on the VIP.
Yep.
Goes to IHW.
Then goes to IHW.
Wrestles his match. We'll get to that in a second.
And then comes back.
To North Pro. Interferes in this match. The clear storyline here is Dick Durning versus the Hollywood Heathens. And there's a guy that wrestled on the VIP that will be teaming up with Dick Durning at the St. John's show.
Yeah.
Chip Chambers. Is that the tag team feud going forward?
Might be. I mean, obviously Dick is going to need... I mean, can he do a handicap match? Probably. But I can definitely see him pulling in a tag team partner. He is their temporary general manager, so he can pick whoever the hell he wants. So, yeah, I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Was this a main event match? Probably not.
I think
this
show is weird.
Yeah, it was
just weird with the way that the opening match had to be the title match. That was a clear main event. So to me, I would have probably... I think their backs were against the wall, and here it was, all right, do we go with Sabotage and AWOL as the main event? Well, is AWOL ready for a main event spot? Will the nerves get to them?
Yeah.
Or do you do Dick Durning? It's his big return to North Pro against Dawson James, who I think has been in the industry as long as AWOL, but just is a natural at it. Not saying that Sabotage isn't good at it. Dawson James looks like he's been doing it for 10 years.
I think Dawson James also has, no knock on AWOL, but has more reps in the ring right now than they do. He's on multiple different promotions, and he's putting in matches constantly. Probably, I'd say, wrestles for maybe 2 or 3 promotions more than AWOL does. So he's getting more experience, which is good. Personally, I didn't think this was a main event caliber match. But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do with what you got. And like I said it before, North Pro for me is going to hang out with my friends first while watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Not vice versa. Like, I'm not going to a wrestling show and, hey, hopefully run into a friend or whatever. Northborough for me is I'm going to hang out with all my buddies, and there just happens to be a wrestling show at the same time. So, yeah, I mean, was it their best show ever? No. Was it a great show? It was a good show. The last show they had when they brought the guys in from Pro Wrestling Ontario was fantastic. Will they put a better show on next time? Probably. It all depends on who's available for. There's so many shows that were going on Friday night that there's only so much.
I was going to say.
There's only so much talent that goes around. You've got all the guys for Elite Prestige that can't wrestle normally for IHW. So then you got IHW that are taking wrestlers that normally wrestle North Pro. So like the Ricky Mortises and those guys.
And they were booked for IHW first.
Yeah. And you still got guys like Chip and Cole that are doing double duty. You know what I mean? So like somebody has to suffer somewhere. There's only so many guys to go around unless you're pulling a whole bunch of talent from outside. Which North Pro had a couple guys from outside. They had Michelle Plant. They had Alex Silva. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
they did what they had. I mean, it was a good night. I'm not going to complain about wrestling ever. And I love seeing these guys in the ring. I mean, I would have paid $40 just to watch the Orion and Silva match. So I'm happy with that. So,
Corey, your thoughts on this?
Don't book a show on September 20th. Please. As a wrestling fan, I had IHW tickets. IHW for me has been on fire this year. I like New Hook and Connors. I'm an IHW guy. That's, Tracy and I really bonded over IHW a lot. Or over North Pro a lot, sorry. We started going to see North Pro, and that's where I really found out how big a wrestling fan she was, and she found out how much she could like indie wrestling. Don't book a show on September 20th, because I will pick IHW again. And you'll find out why in a few moments.
Yeah.
I wanted to be at the North Pro show. My friends were there. It sucks.
Tracy, your thoughts on this?
It sounds like it was just kind of a no-win situation for them, and they did the best that they could. I would say it probably was the smarter choice to have Dick Durning on last. You kept people around.
That's true.
And the hype and the excitement that he got the last show that we were at, I think it makes sense.
Oh yeah, he definitely got a pop the minute he come through that curtain.
I bet.
Everybody's telling him they wanted Dick, let me tell you.
The music, too. I don't know what his song is. You Shazam it and nothing comes up, but such an iconic theme song for Maritime Wrestling.
Oh, 100%.
So, North Pro, their next show, if they could book it for, I don't know, mid-October, would be fantastic for me.
Late July would work.
Late July. They have one in early July.
They got one this weekend. Yeah.
So that's the early July show. I'm probably off.
Saturday.
It might be my last day, though. So, Northborough, it is as advertised. You do what you can with what you have, and they put on a good show, and that's all you can ask for,
100%.
So, IHW Riverview Sunfest, Corey Tracy and Mark the Mark were there. The Mega Pass started with Joey White beating Ryan Schimmel.
Good match. Clearly two guys who have been in the ring together many times. It filled that spot, if that makes sense. It's not easy to pull the curtain, but it was a big crowd for the Mega Pass. I mean, I would say 95% of the fans that were there for the show were there for the Mega Pass.
Cool.
Yeah. And Joey White and Ryan Schimmel, two excellent talents.
Yep.
100%.
Joey White.
I thought Joey was going to make his way over to North Pro since he pulled the curtain in IHW. I was surprised to not see him on the card.
None of the Kaizen guys made it to North Pro, I believe. Kobe wasn't there. Sebi, who was working the camera, he didn't make it. Boyette didn't make it. Schimmel didn't make it. So,
interesting.
They were committed to IHW for that night. Also on the Mega Pass, Star Child beat Thad Howard. A bit of an upset here.
He beat the Juggernaut, Thad
Yes.
Howard.
Yeah.
And it's worth seeing that. It was good. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Thad, you forget how good Thad is when you see him do comedy, and he's good at that, and I enjoy that personally. For me, I enjoy the crap out of his comedy stuff at North Pro. But seeing his power and the way that he lands moves with an impact.
So gritty.
Thad's a great
I was
wrestler.
excited.
So the
100%.
Juggernaut has the corpse paint, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole. So I screamed out, go for his eyes to Star Child. And Thad immediately said, that's a different promotion. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's a different person.
That's a different person. That's a different person.
Yeah. So you still saw flashes of that. That fun crowd work that he does. But I mean, if if you listen to the hockey podcast, you know that I enjoy the rougher things in life. And I was so excited. Like Corey said, always impressed with Thad Howard and what he does at North Pro, and he makes it work. But to see him just like be aggressive, like so fun.
Would I say
Yeah.
upset? Yep, he kind of did that stealing a win thing. So, and then he rolled out and ran. I mean, it is what it is. Good match, though.
Thad Howard, his Juggernaut character is great. His bad Thad Howard character in New Breed is even more aggressive.
Yeah.
So
Thad
it's
Howard's just fun
yeah.
to watch. He's fun in the ring. He's easy to like, even as a heel. Like even as this like despicable heel, you're still like, oh god, I can't believe he did that. Can't wait to see him again.
Yeah. His bad character with New Breed is even a step above what he does with the
I'll
Juggernaut.
have to look that up.
Yeah, it's fun. He's got a whole like Mad Max vibe. Comes out with a mask on. His face is all painted black, and he's got this great big skull on his shoulder, and he just seems like even more aggressive. Like he just doesn't talk. It's like all business. Yeah, it's great. So I love how he can play like the different gimmicks in different promotions, and he makes them all work. I love that.
Yeah.
It's called being an artist.
100%.
The opening match of the Riverview Sunfest show saw the Ghost Ricky Mortis beat Kirk Obey. So
That was the last match of the Mega Pass.
I don't know. You didn't tell me.
No, I'm telling you, that was the last match of the Mega
That
Pass.
was the last match of the Mega
That
know.
was the Mega.
You didn't tell me, Corey.
That was the main event of the Mega Pass. It was a good match too.
It was.
So IHW has a podcast now,
Yeah,
hosted by Remy Petit.
The Countdown.
Goes up to their channel, Countdown, and he did mention that Kirk Obey was on a bit of a losing streak, and maybe his luck will change. Well, his luck did not change, and being a seasoned wrestling fan, like I am, this screams heel turn. So,
Well.
talk to me about this.
It's all you, Tracy.
My memory serves me correct, and my memory isn't always that good, so Corey, keep me honest. This was also when Shano got in the ring, and Kirk Obey didn't realize he was behind him and elbowed him, right?
he swung his arm back because he was like,
Yeah.
was he talking to the ref or there was something?
Yeah.
He was like aggressive with the ref, and he elbowed Shano right in the mouth, and Shano went down like a lump. And man, we were very concerned for
Remy
Shano.
wasn't happy. Remy wasn't happy with that later on.
Yeah, Remy came out
Interesting.
and kind of scalded, much like Sabotage did to AWOL. He scalded Kirk Obey, who stomped off to the back.
Interesting. So,
The good news is that Shano could count how many fingers I held up.
Oh, that's good.
Two.
That's
It
good.
was 2. It was fine.
Question before we move on for
Yeah.
Corey. Did Sebi untie your shoelaces this
He
match.
fucking tried to, the dirty bastard. I pulled them
Every
away.
time.
I pulled them away, and I don't know. Yeah, it was Sebi's Sebi. What are you gonna do? Gotta love the guy.
That's right.
Are we looking at a Shano Kurt Cobain feud in the future?
It's definitely setting up something, but I don't think that's what it was. I think
Agreed.
it's more that it was an easy way to get heat because everybody loves Shano.
Who doesn't love Shano?
And then Kirk, well, not everybody doesn't love Kirk. So you see Kirk hurt Shano, it's easy to hate Kirk a little bit more. It's a natural heel turn. Kirk's not getting the pops that he was getting once upon a time.
No.
So maybe it's time for that heel turn.
Yeah.
Fans don't want to cheer you. Don't
Fresh
make them
coat
cheer
of
you.
paint never hurt anybody sometimes.
There you go. Paint your face, Kirk. You heard it here.
Paint your face red, white, and blue.
Ugh.
Become the all-American
Big
Kurt Cobain.
star there over his
Yeah, I
eye
was
there,
gonna
like
say.
He could easily be
Like
an
Paul
Acadian.
Stanley.
The
He could do an
Acadian dream.
Acadian. He could do an Acadian gimmick for
could.
sure. He does it in CCW.
So apparently, the real opening match was Kobe Christ beating Bobby Boyette.
Sure
I've seen
was.
this match
So
1,000
good.
times.
It was a good
I
match.
imagine this was amazing. Corey
Yeah.
talked to me about it.
Tracy, go ahead.
No, you talk
Crazy.
about it. There's
Somebody
one
talked
spot
about it.
that I'm gonna.
I don't even know what's fired up. It was just a good match. Like Bobby moves so friggin' well.
Fluid.
Yeah,
Yes.
and these guys obviously work together a ton. Both Kaizen guys, obviously, Kobe is Kaizen. But just you could tell that this was a good choreographed match. They just went through it. It was pretty flawless, honestly, and very incredible. Bobby is so over in IHW,
Yeah.
and how couldn't he be? Best theme song for a face, maybe in the Maritimes.
Yes.
Like I start clapping like a dickhead, woo, yeah. It's just it was a good match. It was just a really good match.
I don't know how they did it, but there was one spot where Covey jumped up. I think he jumped up into Bobby, but he had his hand, and he's doing like the crack of the fingers, like spreading the fingers, and it made a noise.
Oh,
Like it literally, like it was like ooh. As a perennial knuckle cracker, I appreciated it and was a little jealous.
And that's the spot you took away from that match. I love it.
I mean,
Wrestling.
when you're able to make that noise on a move that you shouldn't be able to hear,
yeah.
like that's impressive.
And I just noticed Tracy's wearing a Ghostbusters shirt.
Yeah, buddy.
So she's a fan of DDT.
Nah, she's a fan of LG.
But I
Oh,
enjoyed
she's part of DDT.
Sebi's. So speaking of Sebi, really kind of my first time. Definitely first time seeing him. Do his camera work, but he's really like he's quite athletic. Like when the wrestlers would come in, he was like sliding on one knee. So we were in the second row, and he was like sliding on one knee, right in position, trying to get Corey's shoelaces, which I appreciated. But yeah, it was.
He's a fantastic camera guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would argue one of the best.
Make himself small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy witnessed the walking gimmick for the first time.
The what?
The walking gimmick. Is this thing on?
Sebi.
I was like,
Sebi is a walking gimmick. I agree with you, and just a genuinely nice guy. So
I love
I'm a
Sebi.
fan.
It's become a weekly tradition to watch the Sebi vlogs right before recording. They got another one for IHW. Daniel Wall
it's
was
already
not
been
there.
posted on the group.
They replaced Daniel Wall with Kobe Christ this time. I have
Did you watch it?
I did.
Daniel Wall was there, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Daniel Wall was the ghost this time.
That's right.
It's
So
just funny
LG
and
makes an appearance too. So
goofy and enjoyable.
yeah. The next match on the card saw Ronnie Payne beat Karma Rain and Sierra Stone in a triple threat match. Winner faces Madison Miles for the IHW Women's Championship at September to surrender the 20-year anniversary. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with IHW here.
Right. So I don't have a bone to pick, and this was a very predictable match. You have face versus heel versus heel. You have Madison, who's a heel. Face is going to win. You have two girls who have combined maybe 20 matches. You have Ronnie Payne, who's been doing it for a couple of years. So Ronnie goes over. It really, it was a short match. I don't know what the heck happened. Karma got thrown out of the ring, and then I just didn't come back into the ring.
But
and
she
then
hit hard though.
She landed quite hard, and then she had some words with Sierra, so probably setting up a VIP match between Karma and Sierra September 20th. Get your tickets; they should be on sale in a couple of weeks.
I found out that it was going to be on a Saturday, so I will be.
What's your bone to pick, Votour?
They introduced the IHW Women's title, and it's a smaller version of the IHW Heavyweight Championship. They can't give the women their own title.
It's a really pretty belt.
Copy. It's they're WWEing it. I just
it's very
don't
tiny.
like tiny the blue strap little
nice
different.
strap.
It's not the belt's nice, but you know what's even nicer? The bigger, shinier one that the men have. Give the women their own title.
They have their own title, just a different one.
Oh, shut up! You know what I mean. So anyway,
would you prefer a
nitpick.
butterfly?
Remy, give this guy shit.
Give me shit.
Yeah.
Give
when
me free
Votor
shit.
when Votor starts paying for your titles, then he can have an opinion.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. Speaking of good titles and great designs, the IHW Honor title was on the line as Hollywood Cole beat Jason Boa. We've seen these two have great matches in the past. I have to imagine this was another great one.
Yeah, it was a good one. They kind of, again, worked the Hollywood Cole almost getting DQ'd, and then the ref reminding him that if he gets DQ'd, he loses his belt, and then him being like, no, wait a second. They really brought this in with the perfect character, because he's a slime ball. He's going to win by any means necessary.
Yeah.
I think he cheated for the win here, too. He's just a dirty little bugger, and he's the perfect guy to have the belt here. So, and Boa's over. Boa's over in IHW. They like him a lot. And he had another classic, submission-style match here. It was a good match, but that dastardly Hollywood Cole coming out on top again.
I feel like the Honor title is very heel-heavy, whereas it works, like you said, the heel, oh no, if I do this, I'm getting disqualified. Then he finds a way and cheats.
Yep.
The second a babyface wins that title, you know he's losing that title by DQ.
100%.
You know he is. The heel hits the referee with something, throws the chair to the babyface, goes down. Oh no, he hit me.
Oh yeah, Eddie Guerrero spot.
Classic.
Eddie Guerrero spot. There you go. You know that's tailor-made for that belt.
100%. But who's the babyface that's going to take it from him?
I don't think Cole loses anytime soon.
I don't think Cole loses it anytime. You got one of the best babyfaces in the entire Maritime wrestling scene waiting for that title in Fantana.
At some point, I think, yeah.
Speaking of Fantana, my heart breaks at this match.
Because you weren't there?
Yeah, well,
Kind of.
shout out to Mark. Mark did FaceTime me, but Mark, in very Mark fashion, turned off the audio, so I didn't hear shit. So, thanks, Mark. Fantana beats Big Bad LG Logan Green. Logan has to wear a mask for the rest of the 2025 season in IHW. This is completely unfair. Unfair. This is his moneymaker. Don't you give me that, lady.
The mask.
LG.
The mask is not hindering his ability to speak.
The poor women. Ask your mother.
Yeah.
Ask your mother. I asked my mother. LG has to wear a mask. She nearly cried.
Oh,
She said
I believe that.
that pretty
She said,
boy-
of all people, why aren't you wearing a mask, you ugly bastard?
She did, and then she put a plastic bag over my head.
I mean-
I'm alive still.
Corey cried after LG put the mask on
It
and walked
was
down the aisle.
it was sweat.
Oh,
It
oh.
was LG's sweat.
Oh, it's because he was rubbing himself all over your head, coming down like
So
tears.
LG comes out, gives all of his chains and his shirt to quote David Boyce, that homeless guy who does security for IHW. And they had a great match, honestly. For me, Tracy and I talked a bit while we were driving up, like, am I so hyped for this match that I'm going to be disappointed? And I said, that's very valid. That's very valid. I was not. Fantana did a corner to corner.
Yes.
Which was stellar. Fantana is so damn talented, so good, so over.
Yeah.
And LG, my God, it was as good as I expected it to be. I was exhausted after it. I'll tell you that. You know those North Pro shows where we were like spent.
Energy's here. Yeah.
You were spent, and there's like 3 matches left. That was me that night. I went outside. I was like, I need a cigarette. I need something. Like, I was so high. And it just lived up to it, man. LG did everything. He pulled out the fuzzy wuzzies, which cracked me up.
Yeah, you recorded and shared the match with us, so I did get a chance to watch it. Yeah. And I know we talk a lot about LG not having to wrestle because, he doesn't have to because of his promo skills and everything. But, he wrestled in this match, and he did fantastic.
Yep.
So,
great match.
Yeah, so despite having all of the talking and promo skills he has, he's still a fantastic wrestler.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question here. I've talked LG up. LG is one of my favorite wrestlers in the Maritimes in years. I haven't enjoyed a character this much in a long time. So Tracy's heard me hype this guy. And Tracy had never seen LG until Friday. Am I right, Tracy?
Jesus.
I watched IPW, but not in person.
Not in person. Yeah. Impressions of the match.
I thought he's classic heel. It will be interesting to see when and if he ever turns face, how that will play out, because he's just his voice, his those glasses, like, they're just heel. I'm sure he has a fine speaking voice, but
I'm not sure.
And he knows when to, shout things out. Like you said, like, there's all of those other, like, aspects to being a great wrestler that even the most technically sound wrestler, if they don't have that, it's a lot harder for them to get over. The fact that he can wrestle and keep up with Fantana, who very impressive, by the way. That was my second time seeing Fantana live. I would say my first IHW show was probably not their best show. In my eyes, they redeemed themselves greatly. But yeah, he kept up with Fantana. It wasn't a one-sided match at all. So and some hard hits by both of them.
Yeah,
match finishes.
Kicked in the head while you're sitting inside of a garbage can.
Yeah, like some classic moves that, I think, growing up, all of us were, mainstream wrestling fans. So, those things are kind of etched in our memories, and
100%.
It's great.
Yeah, I focus on LG, but Fantana, once again, just rocks it. Great match here. Guy's a vet. Yeah. He's so entertaining. Match. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, before he came out, like after LG did his thing and right before Fantana's music hit, you turned to me and said, this place is going to get loud. And it did. Like, it was wild how loud it got.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He pops the crowd every time he comes out. And it's funny, like, you say, oh, he's a vet. Like, he's got, like, 18 or 19 years experience at this point. He's 32 years old.
Mm.
Like,
That's wild.
the guy's probably still got another 10 years or more in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, thank God.
yeah.
This match finishes. LG puts on his mask. Can't see anything because his mask is clearly hindering his vision. He gets out of the ring, and I will tell you the story through my eyes. I'm sitting there recording the match because I want Jason to be able to see it, and Cheryl to be able to see it, and Connor Cook to be able to see it. You know, some of my buddies
But
that
not
weren't
Corey.
able to be there.
Not Corey.
Well, Corey
can't
was
see it.
watching it.
live.
Corey was watching it live streamed by Mark with no sound. Apparently, what a dick.
No
Which,
sound.
Anyway.
by the way, the fact that you are angry about that, considering how many live streams for the BSHL
Yeah.
we had to
You
go
muted?
through, where you mute.
I muted on purpose for
You
I
copyright
digress.
reasons.
So
Mark was like, how does this work? I asked Corey, and this is one thing I asked Corey, when you see Mark doing shorts, recording shorts, make sure he goes vertical, not horizontal. How did he do them, Corey?
I didn't even notice.
I did.
Horizontal?
He did exactly.
Sorry about that. Anyway, so LG's coming out of the ring blinded, and there's this moment when he's like stumbling toward down the aisle that he locks eyes with me. And in that moment where he locked eyes with me, I went, oh, fuck, he's climbing on me. I knew he was stumbling into me. I knew it. So I braced for the stumble, expecting to just stumble into me like lots of wrestlers have in the past. No, he like bear hugged me, put his armpit in my face, gave me the bushwhacker.
I was like,
Crazy. I had to
I was
listen to
the-
fucking
the
hyena laughing next to me.
Oh, that's,
It's so
I
funny.
was like, Mark ended the FaceTime or whatever you want to call it right after that, and nobody could hear me or whatever. I'm sitting at my computer desk, dying of laugh. I'm crying laughing,
Yes.
and I'm thinking to myself, that right there is why he is my absolute favorite in the Maritimes right now.
Yes.
The fact that he could connect the podcast, there's something I can work with, and jumps on Corey, armpits him, gives him the pity city from the Nasty Boys, not the Bushwhackers. Thank you, Corey.
Sorry. Anyway,
Just that, and the fact that he didn't notice that he did that because the mask was in his eyes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant. This guy's an absolute genius.
he's
100%.
hilarious. He's hilarious. You're gonna see a promo that he cut with Mark the Mark. I think it's at the end of this episode, Corey.
Yep, the poor LG. He has to.
I know.
Number one, he has to lose to Fantana. He has to wear that stinking mask. Like, I can smell it all the way here. Like, it's just not fair. Then Corey makes him get an interview with Mark the Mark. What are you doing?
Yeah. Content. That's what I'm doing.
I'll allow it this time, but apologies to LG. Life's not fair. Life was good. Life was good, and right now
Not
life
anymore.
life's not horrible. He's still LG.
Yeah, but now Carol Esty can't see his face.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The moneymaker.
Oh well.
All right, before I start crying, let's move on to the next match because that one really upset me. Perfect Storm beat Caden and Mark.
Fugazi.
What?
Fugazi.
Fugazi. He's a tough man.
He's
Yeah.
an Italian.
Very tough man.
He's crazy stuff.
So, someone told me that tag team name was called Pretty in Pink. Any truth
I like
to that?
it.
I don't know.
I don't
Could
know.
be.
I'm loving that IHW are making tag teams. And Corey, Tracy, you were there. Maybe this went over like a fart in church. We've all seen Caden wrestle. We know what Caden can do.
It's a good match.
Fugazi, we're going to pull the curtain here. It's Chris Tuff. IHW legend. Fresh gimmick change here. It's not a tag team that I would have thought of, but another tag team means more tag belt. The tag belts are coming sooner rather than later. So,
Hopefully.
talk to me about this match.
The kid in front of us is the same kid who was in front of me at the last show. He's a huge Perfect Storm mark. So this kid made like 15 signs
Jeez.
for a
least.
perfect storm section. Well, you know me. I have no problem playing along. So this kid passed out signs, and I was like, Mark, grab a sign. Let's go. We're doing this. So we had a perfect storm section, which they popped for, obviously. It's classic Julian Young, open challenge. Caden comes out.
Open.
With
He had an open challenge, really?
Yeah, no, shocking.
You would have never
Oh
guessed
my!
it.
Even
Never
Ryan
get-
Storm was shocked by this.
Wow.
It was a good match, though. It genuinely, like, they told a story. It wasn't just a match to have a match. At the end of it, it was interrupted by those dastardly guys in the, what are they
Bastardly.
called?
The Hateful Dead.
The Hateful Dead.
Mauler James Manning and the Ghost Ricky Mortis. What an awesome name that is. Two guys that fit together, too.
Oh, yeah. Two good wrestlers, two younger guys, or, well, two guys. I don't know how young Manning is.
I don't know.
But
Probably younger than me.
he's definitely younger than me. Good
Guarantee
talent,
younger
though.
than me.
Guarantees younger than
Jason's
you.
eyes just lit up. He's like, I can continue this.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good match. They told a good story. Caden's phenomenal, man.
Love Caden.
It's hard to believe that Caden was out of the business as long as he was, comes back, and he's still this good.
Yeah.
Like, Caden's so good, man.
And I thought
I-
they. Oh, sorry, Corey.
No, go for it. You were there.
Well, I was going to say I thought they played the heels very, very well. So, what did you call him? Fugazi.
Fugazi, yeah.
He pulled out this, like, I don't know what it's supposed to be, like, this wire essentially to be able to choke people, and they passed it back and forth, and then I'm pretty sure it was Caden. He put it in the turnbuckle, and I was like, I saw your hidey hole. Like, I know where you hide shit now. But I thought that was, really good work, because a lot of it was done on the other side of the ring from us. But you could just hear people be like, "Wow, wow!"
It's
They
classic
were
heel
reacting.
tag team,
Oh,
you know.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's something that's missing in wrestling in general.
Mm.
The Maritimes, I've always said, is wrestling's best kept secret. And this is just a proof right here. Chris Tuff, Fugazi, people forget that this guy peaked early. He was in the very early days of
Story
IW.
of my
He
life.
So he was like a regular challenger for the IHW heavyweight title. Never won it. A highlight of his career is he was the heel, and he was feuding with babyface BT Bobby Man. They feuded for a while. Then they earned each other's respect, became a babyface tag team. Then they did the double turn. So BT
Talk about
went
bastardly people.
Bastardly
BT.
people. BT went heel. Tuff was the face. So they did the feud again in reverse roles. And Chris Tuff kind of, I don't want to say left the scene, but he wasn't like used as importantly as back in the day. Other people came into the territory. And a tag team, if it's Pretty in Pink with Caden, you got two veterans there.
Chris Tuff also was on September to Surrender 1. So we're talking about September to Surrender 20. He was on the OG show in Sackville, New Brunswick, despite the fact the cage match says it was in Irishtown, New Brunswick. It was not. It was in Sackville. He faced Demente and Johnny Richards on that show.
Johnny Richards. I haven't heard that name in years.
20 years ago. So I was glad to see him here. I hope he makes an appearance at September to Surrender 20. I think it'll be appropriate. I hope if you're listening to this, anybody from HW, bring back some of those megastars. I'd love to get some quick pops for some of those guys, because 20 years is really something to celebrate.
Even like bring
Yeah.
BT, bring Titus,
Yep.
bring Cowboy Mike Hughes, like bring Chris.
Bring them in
Tuff,
at the end of the VIP. I don't care. Just
bring
get that
Chris
pop.
Cook. Here's a question right now. So we got Pretty in Pink, or what we think is going to be their name. We got the Hateful Dead. We got the Perfect Storm. AWOL wrestled in IHW. What do you guys think? Like, September to Surrender 20. This is the 20th year of IHW. They've been teasing tag titles. could we potentially see like a fatal 4-way tag team ladder match or something like that for September to Surrender?
No.
No.
No?
No. I think year-end show. And I think it's going to be a one-on-one match. Or a tag team match. I don't think it's going to be a 4-way. I do think it's going to be Hateful Dead versus Perfect Storm. I think that makes a lot of sense. Build up to that. Hopefully you have the Hateful Dead cheat in this next match, get the win. I don't know, something. You can do something. Perfect Storm's got to be the first title holders because immediately you make that it's a legitimate belt at that point.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say September, they're probably going to have a show sometime in October, November. Have that tag team titles there.
Either have them there and announce that they're going to be like something like they did with the other belts. They're announcing, and then the first show of 2026, I think, is where they're going to award them.
I don't know. I think Corey might be on to something here. The last show of the year, and you main event with that.
Oh, you could main event with it. Yeah, for sure.
So, this was a good match. I haven't seen it yet, but Caden's in it. Of course, it's a fucking good match. What the hell are you talking about, Tracy?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Smart
Main
Mark.
event time. IHW Heavyweight Champion Chris Charters beat JP Sims by DQ. Chip Chambers interferes. Kobe
Fucking
Price
Chip.
comes out. All hell breaks loose. September to Surrender. A fatal 4-way match for the IHW Heavyweight title. Chris Charters will defend against JP Sims, Chip Chambers, and Kobe Christ. Myself and Corey recorded a podcast yesterday for the unofficial BSHL podcast. Please go subscribe to that YouTube channel as well, and go like the Facebook page. And Corey was like, I don't know how I feel about this. He's like, there's no story to this. And I'm like, clearly you forgot about Tag Team Mayhem.
I forget a lot.
He forgets a lot.
That's accurate. I can confirm.
So there was a tag team match in, I believe it was May. Because it was
Yeah, it was
Tag
May.
Team Mayhem. Oh my god, they used the Mayhem name and I never even noticed. It just clicked right now. One
Wow.
of their biggest shows back in the day
Wow.
was Mayhem. And it was Tag Team Mayhem.
Oh,
I'm a dumb
boy.
fuck. So anyway, the tag team match main event was Chris Charters and Chip Chambers versus Kobe Christ and JP Sims. That's when Chip Chambers turned on Chris Charters.
Yeah, but it
Christ.
even stems to before that.
Oh yeah. But
Because
now we're getting the fatal 4-way match at September to Surrender. I don't think you can make a bigger match for the title than this.
Agreed.
yeah, it started like when Remy first introduced Chris with the new title.
Yeah.
The 3 other Musketeers came out and all had their say that they want it. So that ended up
It's
being
long-term booking.
Yeah, that ended up being a 4-way. Then it turned into a couple of matches. Then it turned into the tag team, and now it's going into the fatal 4-way again. So yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
Question to Corey and Tracy: was Dave Boyce there?
No.
No.
I think Dave
to
Boyce
Mark's
was-
disappointment.
I think Dave Boyce was working at Halifax Music Fest or something.
Didn't you
So
go see
he was
you
not
went to
there.
see the Killers, right?
Yeah, he went and saw the Killers, but I think he was working there the days before.
He was also working there as well. He was selling merchandise for the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dave Boyce, busy man, doing a little bit of everything. He wasn't. I like this Fatal 4-Way because it's a way to get the belt off Charters without getting Charters pinned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it time for a title change? Maybe. It's not really flat yet. I talked about how tired I was after the Fantana LG match. This was a phenomenal match. Really good match. Even Cheryl, who came over to the IHW show after North Pro and kind of just stood at the back of the room and watched the last match, was like, this is a really, really good match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Cool.
Man, people hate JP Sims.
Oh my god.
Oh
it's
yeah.
unreal.
Oh
It's
yeah.
an artist.
I mean, it's
Angry
impressive.
Whopper.
Oh yeah.
Here's a question. Corey, you just mentioned you mentioned 2 things here. You said it's the perfect way to get the title off Chris Charters without beating him, but you also said the title reign isn't stale yet.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the opinion that they should make the switch right now. Because the title reign is not stale yet. No, it is not. But you're giving the title reign that much more life by having Chris Charters chase who I think is going to be the new championship Chambers.
Agreed.
I agree as well.
Because that bastard Dave Boyce will be right there with Chip, and somehow that will lead to Chip getting the win. So,
Yeah.
So excuse my ignorance for a second.
Yeah.
Is JP still with Dave Boyce?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he has two people in this match.
Sure does.
And so do we think that that will cause friction as well? In
Sure do.
the Dave Boyce
Absolutely.
I think this is probably the storyline that ends Dave Boyce and JP Sims. I think all of a sudden, I think Sims might be one of the first challengers as a babyface.
I was going to say, because then you probably wouldn't want to put the title on Sims if we're
No,
thinking
he had
of
it for like 2 years. He doesn't need it right now. And the old school wrestling territory ways was if you're already over, you don't need a belt. The belt is for someone, it's either for the top star, so he's the champion when the world champion comes to the territory, so he can challenge the world champion, or you put it on someone that's like the third or fourth top babyface or heel.
So using your logic, Kobe Christ is in line for this belt.
Well,
Chip does not need a belt right now. Chip came out and the crowd lost it at that.
Thing, Chip
listen, last
Chip doesn't
IW
need
show,
the belt, but the belt needs Chip.
That's fair. Last IW show when Chip did the turn, I was mad. I mean, they got me, and I told boys, you bastards, you got me. Like, you know, when you're got in wrestling, I'm a person who goes to a wrestling show and I'm willing to suspend reality and enjoy the show. I'm going to cheer the face. I'm going to boo the heel. I'm really going to heckle the heel. They got me. I was like, that fucker. Fucking Chip, man. And I love Chip Chambers. Like, Chip's one of my favorite in the Maritimes by
one
far.
One of the best, yeah.
But, man, they got me. They got me. And I can't wait to see this match.
In wrestling history, and a lot of people are mad about this one. I love it. When Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. That's the one thing that I never saw coming. Like, you always have your doubts or whatever about any matches. That one I did not see coming. And they got me. And I was like, bravo, WWE, bravo. I tip my hat to you, raise a glass of wine to you. And then everybody was like, fuck this company. I hate WWE. And I was like, I didn't mind it.
Well, this is definitely going to be a good storyline, so I can't wait to see what they do in September.
I know September we will be going to the IPW Game Over show September 6th.
Yes, sir.
September 20th. Corey yesterday was like, you're coming. You're coming to IHW. And I'm like, fuck, it's right when I'm working. And I'm like, is it a Friday or a Saturday? And Corey looked at his phone, and then all of a sudden he had like I got a poop look. And just like, it's on a Saturday. You're coming. So
it's September to Surrender 20.
Yeah.
If you've ever been an IHW fan at any point in the last 20 years, try to get to this show. I saw a few people, saw my cousin Zach at this show. First time I'd seen Zach at a wrestling show in a long time with his wife Lynn. IHW is really, really good right now. If you're ever going to come back and watch IHW, in my opinion, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's always waves. Well, they're peaking right now, in my opinion. It's really good wrestling. So, Corey, you're going to be there, because if you're not there, I'm going to kick you in your stumpy little shin.
Yeah, we've all decided as well, regardless of what else is going on, we're all going to IHW as well. So
yeah, they deserve it.
100%.
It's at the Coverdale Rec Center this year.
Yeah, buddy.
So we need to pack that barn up. It's the 20 years of IHW. And here's something that me and Corey talked about yesterday. The longest running company in history right now is Grand Prix Wrestling for the Maritimes. And they were around for, I think, just under 30 years. If IHW can make it another 10 years, they have the record. So,
100%.
Who knew a little backyard wrestling promotion would become one of the biggest promotion in the history of maritime wrestling? I love it.
Amen.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that being said, that was the reviews. So Jason, what's next?
What is next? Upcoming shows. There's actually a show going on tonight. We're recording this on Monday. Monday tonight we've got NBWA has Mayhem and Minto 3. So we'll have all the scoop for that on the next episode. Tomorrow, if you guys are
It was
in
yesterday.
which is yesterday Tuesday. Let's do that. Tuesday I had the Canada Day Clash for NBWA as well in Belle Isle. So that was earlier this week. This upcoming weekend, we've got, as I mentioned earlier, Wrestling in Windsor 9 at the Walker's Ballroom. They've got... they haven't listed any matches as of yet, but they've got their open weight champion, Giant Orion, will be there. Cody Ono Ocho will be there. Wesley Pipes. The tag team of Dick Durning and his son Dryce will be there. Narcissus Saint, Anthony Deuce Harlem, Jonathan Cross, and a bunch more. So if you're in that area, definitely go check that out. That's on July 4th. July 5th, we have 2 shows. We have the show that was rained out this past Saturday, CCW Shredderton. They had a music fest. CCW was supposed to have an afternoon show. It was postponed due to the rain, so it'll be happening this Saturday, July 5th at 1 o'clock. Outdoor show in a parking lot. There's like 400 seats available. Going to be a great time. All their guys will be there. Scott Lee Chevron, Kerry Killam, Stormy, Slick McGrick, Hunter Sampson, Larry Horowitz, the Strong Brothers, Rick Owens. So that's going on. Also in the St. John area, we've got Northbrook has their is it Rogue Wave? I think they're called
Rogue Wave, yeah.
At Area 506 at the Container Village. 2 matches have been announced so far. You've got the North Pro Championship Fatal 4-Way match between Boa, Wesley Pipes, Kobe Christ, and Giant Orion. That I'm sure will be a great match. And you've got the tag team match between Sabotage versus Dick Durning and Chip Chambers.
If you guys seen that promo,
I actually just reshared the promos on our Facebook group today. Again, both of them are fucking hilarious, so go watch them. It'll be great. Yeah, I wish all the companies some great success this week, and we'll talk about them on the next episode.
Absolutely. So what is next?
Next is the listener question of the week,
Which is
coming from a Mr. Callum Dorsey from the United Kingdom.
Interesting.
He says, who do you think are the top 3 storytellers in the ring right now? He didn't say if it was Maritimes or mainstream. We're going to take Maritimes because we're a Maritime podcast.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna start here because mine are very simple. You already know them all. Big Bad LG, Logan Green, one of the absolute greatest storytellers. He's hilarious, and as proof from this past Friday, can wrestle his ass off. He's doing a mass gimmick in IHW. He's doing a trio in IPW. He's doing the tag team with Kerry Killam and just Caroletsy storyline in CCW. He's a king in Real Savage Pro Wrestling. The guy can do it all. He's a great storyteller. One of my absolute favorites right now. I've talked enough about him and I could keep going. You watch his promos, you watch his matches, you know what I'm talking about. Second guy, Caden. Caden's another one of my absolute favorites in the Maritimes. The second I saw the little, what do you call those, the suitors thing for
Pacifier?
Caden, the pacifier.
Pacifiers, yeah.
So the second I saw that for Crybaby Caden, I was like, that's why he's so fucking good. He gets it.
Oh,
And
for sure.
fantastic wrestler. I will always be prideful on telling Corey, Caden's one of the best right now. You watch and see. And then Corey just sort of like, yeah, cool, blah, 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 blah. And then Corey comes up to me and he's like, dude, you were fucking right. So very proud about that one. And if you haven't listened to Caden's interview, we interviewed him last week. It is up on the YouTube channel. We got to see the original XWA Elite Championship. I marked out for that one. So third guy on my list is the Ultimate Male, Zane Valentine. Him and the Pest of the West, No Class, Eric Bass. The best duo in the Maritimes. Just Bass is like a promo machine. Doesn't skip a beat. And Zane Valentine, like, personally interviewing him myself just made him one of my absolute favorite. He gets it in the ring. Just I think he doesn't get enough credit for being as good a wrestler because he's fantastic. We've seen it. And yeah, one of my absolute favorites. He's hilarious. He can be absolutely one of the best heels. You want to see him lose. People, basically with these three guys, people will pay their hard-earned money to see them get killed. And that's what wrestling's all about. So those were my three.
All right,
also my three favorites in the Maritimes.
Fucking guy. All right, I'll go next. My first one was Ethan Knight. I think the way that Ethan wrestles, it can be like a little pussy, but can also like be a dominant guy. He's just a good character, good wrestler, ton of talent there. And I'm a big fan of Ethan. I think he's very underrated, and I think the best is yet to come with Ethan Knight. So
absolutely,
I can just think of so many times where he cracks me up so well, man. And it's not even a comedy gimmick necessarily, but he's just funny. So Ethan Knight's my first one. Second one, no shock here. Logan Green. Logan Green tells a story. Surprise. Listen, he'll be on everybody's list. What can I tell you? He's a great storyteller. He's a great wrestler. But, he doesn't even have to have a match, man. The guy can walk around the ring and piss everybody off for 15 minutes, get in, do 3 bumps, and finish the match, and you don't feel ripped off. That's the skill. The last one is going to actually be a little bit different for me. It's in-ring storytelling, and that's Kobe Christ. Kobe Christ is a technical wrestler. And when you see Kobe, Kobe's one of those guys who's going to injure somebody's arm and then work the arm and very strategically take that arm apart. And if you hurt Kobe's leg, Kobe's going to limp. Kobe might come out during the intermission still limping. Kobe is a storyteller in the truest sense of the word, going back to old school wrestling, kayfabe. That's the kind of storyteller for me that Kobe Christ is. So Kobe Christ makes my list. And there's a bunch of guys that could have made this list. We got to pick 3. So those are the 3 that popped into my mind right away. And that's what I'm going with.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll go next. For me, number 1 is technically 2 people. It's a tag team. It's Sabotage. Yeah. Their whole feud they had against each other was fantastic. After they're back together again, now their feud with AWOL this Friday night, them setting their foot down, you know what I mean? Just trying to continue that storyline. Justin Newhook is really, really good at what he does. He's a great storyteller. Matt is an absolute comedy genius. Very quiet, but he knows exactly when to put his 2 cents in his spots. I mean, we just got finished talking about the tag team match that's going to happen this weekend coming up with Durning and Chip. Those promos are fire. So Sabotage is my number 1. Like Corey Votor said, Zane Valentine and Eric Bass for me are some of the most, no pun intended, but the ultimate storytellers. The whole No Class Bobby Bass thing, the whole, everything they do has a great big storyline to it. When they had the feud with Fantana, bringing in that baby Fantana in Parking Garage, that was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, those 2 are really good at telling a story and playing their character and getting the pop or the heat whenever they need it. My third option is actually not a wrestler. Is actually Emily Parker. She puts so much effort and so much energy into what she does. She's so good at storytelling and being like the third wheel or the pin that holds everything together in the ring for those stories. It's unreal. The whole feud that they had with Boyce and JP for Parkside, where she actually wrestled a match with with Justin, that whole story. Just this Saturday night, the whole I'm the senior ref, the match is restarting. Like, she is on top of her game. There's a reason that she's the number one referee in the Maritimes, probably in Canada.
Even further.
Yeah,
her feud with Marco Estrada.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's the ultimate storyteller. She has her place in the ring. She knows what she's doing. She keeps everybody safe. She doesn't get nearly enough credit for what she does. And so she's my ultimate storyteller.
Agreed. Ms. Butler.
All right. Well, mine's a little more limited. And there may be a chance where I choose someone who's not actually Maritime, but I've seen them in the Maritime. So, and also I didn't find out what this question was until about, 2 hours ago. I'd say first one, Fat Howlett. Again, like the fact that he was able to turn having both of his eyes popped out of his head into something. I suspect there are some people who are kind of over it. I am not yet.
I'm not
No,
either.
me neither.
And then to be able to switch that, like we talked about earlier, so seamlessly, I think is impressive. Sabotage for all the reasons listed already. I think, they work so well together. Their crowd work is great. I really like that. And third one, I guess I live with them, so I have to agree with them. LG.
You live with LG?
I wish.
Ask your wife, Corey. Ask your wife.
Apparently. Good God, it just got real to me, damn it.
Yeah, well.
Ladies and gentlemen, LG has moved to Rishabasho.
Fucking hell. The two people that I want to say it was actually hard to not put these people on the list were Demonic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And IPW as a booking crew. I love the way that they're telling their stories. They're only 2 shows in. They're killing it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Demonic's promos, do yourself a favor. He's an amazing storyteller. So it's hard. It was hard to go with only 3.
Yeah, I mean,
went more with in-ring stuff. So
yeah, and again, if we're doing like an honorable mention, another one that lately has really impressed me is Olafur Hansen.
Yeah.
He's out touring Europe. He's cutting promos, sending in promos, like just unbelievable. He we were talking after North Pro, and because he couldn't be at New Breed because he was landing back in New Brunswick the day of the New Breed show. You know how like you got a friend that goes on vacation and he's like, oh, come on over. We can watch the slideshow of all my pictures. And you're like, oh, great. Well, he did a slideshow of all those pictures as a promo for New Breed at their last show that he wasn't there. And he made the audience watch a slideshow of his vacation pictures.
That's
and he kept referring to Truro as Truro, New Brunswick. I'm over here in England doing this, and all you guys in Truro, New Brunswick are and apparently the whole crowd kept popping and giving him heat like crazy, and he wasn't even in a building.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. Yeah, I love it. So I think he's going to be one to watch in the future as well. So.
See, if we would revisit this question in a year, I probably have 3 different.
We should revisit in a year.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
when we
set
started,
a calendar reminder.
If anybody's been listening as far back as the other podcast that we don't talk about, when we started the podcast, my favorites were Troy Merritt, Covey Christ, and I think Charlie Hubley. And I think only, I think the only one there is Covey now. Hubley's gone, Troy's gone. And, it depends who my favorites are in the moment. Like, at different points in time, Sabotage was the greatest thing in the world, and they still are. It's an honorable mention. But I haven't seen a lot of them this year.
Yeah.
Just the plain old facts. It's what you've seen. Like, I think I've seen 2, maybe 3 shows this year, and we're at the midway point. So it's been very, very low on wrestling shows. But we got 2 shows coming up in July, at least for me, and 2 shows in September for sure. And I know we're going to... Like, the one show that I'd love to get before the end of the year, if there's one show, love to get to a real Savage Pro Wrestling show.
Absolutely. Got to try and make it to a CCW show as well.
CCW as well. God, we got too many shows that we got to get to. Like with Fredericton, like with this whole Fredericton Express
Yeah, buddy.
coming in, you know, we got to make it to a CCW show. Maybe they can co-brand or something.
100%.
Maybe you go for the weekend, go to a hockey game on one night and wrestling the next night.
Corey, we could snuggle in bed together.
Oh, God.
I got a furry chest, baby.
Yeah, and who's going to be in Rishabuktu with Tracy? Oh, yeah, the big bad LG. Ask
Colby.
your wife.
Dog.
Ask your wife, baby. So,
Who's to say I'm not going to be there in the room with you?
Question: who's doing the intro this week?
the intro is none other than the big bad LG and Matt Chevron.
That's right. So thanks to those boys for doing the intro.
And at the end of the episode, Mark the Mark interviews the big bad LG with a mask on his head.
Does he really interview him? Because I don't hear him ask any real questions. He's just standing there while LG is like...
He's just gloating.
Freaking out.
Just gloating. Yeah. If I would have been there, that would have never happened. I would have given LG a big hug. I'm glad you weren't there. I would have given LG a big hug. It would have probably pushed me away. But, it's LG. You can't touch the merchandise. So, apologies to LG for this last one. I'm contractually obligated to play it for the content. Thank you, big boss. Send your hate to Corey and Mark. Jason's cool. Tracy, she has no dog in this fight.
Yeah. Just send it to Mark. I can give you his email address later.
Mark is in Toronto right now. He's in Leafland.
Yep, I'm going to...
He will be back with us next week unless he decides to get drunk again. So
yeah, he'll be in Niagara Falls on Tuesday, and I think he's going to see a ball game. So
that's pretty cool. We miss you, Mark. We love you, buddy. So that being said, that is the end of this episode, episode 18, creeping towards 20. So with that being said, thank you all for listening. Thank you for Tracy for joining us. And hopefully you'll join us again sometime, Tracy.
Yeah, we'll get rid of Mark anytime you want.
I was going to say, I could easily replace Mark.
Oh, I don't know, man. Mark's pretty special.
Mark's a good guy. He's kind of become the mascot of the channel.
He's special, all right.
All right, with that being said, thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
And here we are at IHW Wrestling after the show. And now, as you can see, the Big Bad LG lost to Fantana, unfortunately.
I can't even put my glasses on!
You can't even see. You can't see.
I can't see nothing! This is absolutely ridiculous! Fantana somehow cheated, and now I gotta wear this stupid mask! This is ridiculous! I can't see nothing! Mark, is that you? Is that Corey? Is that Connor Cook? I don't know who it is, but I'm pretty freaking mad right now that I gotta look like a complete idiot. People are saying, oh, you look like Fantana. Look at you with your mask. LG, you look so funny. This is not funny. This is ridiculous. This could end my career. My face is my moneymaker, and I'm a real mad guy. Isn't that right, Mark? Or whatever the heck your name is.
I mean, based on my experience, yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming here and wallow in my misery again, Mark. I know you're just, LG, you got your mask on, you completed it. I know you're laughing, you're loving all this, but you know what?
I mean, you did tell me to circumcise my face.
Oh, I sure did, but look who got the last laugh here now, apparently you, because I look like an uncircumcised head right now, and I'm really mad. Are we done here or what?
If you want.
Yeah, get me the heck out of here. See you later, buddy.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk that's first rate. Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. Tune right